With that, like, kind of just inspired me to play.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first time anyone ever said their grandfather inspired them. That's great.
Sat down and I met with her, and on the way home I told my mom, I was like, this is the school. Like, I know, like, I just had a feeling, and my mom was like, okay, then you really need to focus in.
A hard hit up. It's past the second baseman. She's 2 for 2 today. Thanks for doing this. And but one of the big things last year, I only did 3 interviews. I did my daughter Peyton List, and then your teammate or former teammate Sam.
Yeah.
But everyone wanted me to do more interviews with seniors, so I'm doing probably 10 to 12 interviews this year.
Awesome.
And of course you were one of them that I wanted to do. So
Okay.
the first thing I wanted to ask is, and kind of talk a little bit about your youth and you know, your younger years playing ball.
Yeah.
I kind of know you a little bit because of Sam. I'm close with Sam and her family. So kind of, I knew you through them. But how did you first get involved in playing softball? And when did you realize that you wanted to play college ball?
Okay, so I first started playing when I was around 5 years old. My mom had always played whenever she was young, so she thought it'd be a good idea to like have me try it out because she had always loved it. And then I just did it, and it kind of stuck. And then whenever I was around probably my freshman year is whenever I first started wanting to like pursue playing at the next level. When I was younger, I had always thought like that'd be so fun, like I'd love to do that. But then freshman year is probably when I started to like buckle down and focus on it, because I got on a more competitive team and we were being exposed to a lot more coaches at games, and we were sending out emails every week. So it really just like opened that up for me.
Now, what travel teams did you play on?
So whenever I was younger, I started off with mainly Silver Creek. That's where I started.
Okay.
And I played there for a few years. And then I moved to Outlaws my freshman year. And then I had played there for the last few years. And then now I'm on the Athletics.
Okay. And you're on Lancey's team, huh?
Yes, I am.
How'd you get over there? What happened to get over there?
Yeah, so I had mutuals that I had played with on previous teams.
Okay.
And I had seen that they'd post, they were like, they had a very good season. They seemed like they had just a great team dynamic, and the coaches were very like close and involved with their players.
Yeah.
And I just thought it seemed like a great environment, especially because it's my last year on travel ball. So I just wanted to finish with a good group that I knew some people on, and it just seemed like they were just a good fit for me.
Yeah. And Coach Ron, he's a good guy. I've talked to him before. We actually, Macy's team, Central Valley, played against them in when they played Avonworth. We played them in the playoffs, and I talked to him. I know him a little bit just through this whole softball scene and Facebook and all that stuff, but that was the first time that I actually spoke to him face to face, and he seemed like a pretty cool guy. You always play at Riverside? Like, is that where you kind of grew up?
So whenever I was younger, like the whole RGAA thing, that's where I started.
Yeah.
And then whenever I was probably, I want to say like 10 years old, I quit playing for RGAA and just went into the travel ball scene.
Okay.
And then my freshman year, I came back and started playing for Riverside again.
For high school. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe why I don't really remember you, because I used to coach with or coach against you know, like Jamie's teams and Greg Ottaviani and all those guys. And I never really remembered you playing with them. So that's why. Okay, that makes sense. So, of course, when you when you're younger, you always look up to people who play softball or whatever. Who inspired you to want to play softball?
So my grandpa played baseball at Auburn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so growing up, he was always like a major inspiration, just seeing like he would show me pictures of when he was playing and like just tell me stories about it.
Uh-huh.
And he was also the coach for Elwood baseball for a super long time. They had won multiple like big titles and stuff.
Yeah.
So just like being brought up with that, like kind of just inspired me to play.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first time anyone ever said their grandfather inspired them. That's great. Did he play pro ball at all?
He had got drafted and then he had pulled out his shoulder or like had a bad injury and it just like after that,
All right. So have you faced any challenges or setbacks that you'd like to share with us and how did you kind of overcome them?
So thankfully I haven't had any setbacks like injury wise or anything.
Yeah.
Like my softball career has been pretty smooth, like whenever it comes to like injury setbacks. But yeah, for the most part, there haven't been any major setbacks, knock on wood.
Good. Yeah, for sure. Now, you may not have had any challenges yet, but I know you got highlights. So can you share some highlights or, just memorable moments that you had up to this point in your career?
Yeah. So for high school, one of the major things was my freshman year. We hadn't made it to playoffs for years. And I came in as a freshman and I started. So that was one of the major highlights, was starting as a freshman. And actually that season was the first season we had made it to playoffs in all that long period of time. So that was one of my major highlights because it was like my first year and it was the first year we made it to playoffs. So the energy was just so good. So that was just like a major.
Yeah, and your section's really tough too with Laurel and who was the other team that had a really good pitcher? I think she graduated in 22. Well, Neshannock's really good too, but wasn't there another one? I thought there was another.
It was Shenango. It was Mia Edwards.
Yes, that's who I'm thinking of. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so you guys really had a tough go through your career. Now, you still have to deal with Neshannock. They're still
we do.
And then you have Autumn Boyd, right? Out of and who's the other girl? Daly? Is it
Addie Deal?
Addie Deal. That's it. Okay.
Addie Deal.
Yeah. So you got to still deal with them people. And who's going to pitch now that Sam graduated? Sam,
so
I guess Aaliyah too.
Yeah. So we have two pitchers that I know of as of now, unless more girls like decide to play.
Right.
But we have Josie Cummings, who's our coach GL, her daughter. Mm-hmm. She's a good pitcher. And then we have Ayla Sterner, who's also a good pitcher. We're just a young team.
Yeah.
So they're both going to be sophomores. But so they're our main pitching staff right now.
Okay. Now, what other seniors are on your team this year?
It's just me and then one other girl. Her name's Grace Maltarski. It's her and I.
Okay. Well, that's cool that you're kind of like the leader and everyone's going to be looking up to you, especially the younger ones. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And actually, we're talking a little bit about it now. So let's get into your senior season. And can you? I know that losing a couple of your seniors this past year is going to kind of set you guys back a little bit. But with you being one of the leaders on the team, one of the seniors, this question really only makes sense. Can you describe your team's dynamics this year and how everyone is getting along and what you're looking forward to as a team leader?
Since we're a young group, I think that energy, whenever you come in as being younger, like gives you an edge because you want to win, you want to prove yourself.
Yeah.
So I think that energy coming from the younger group is honestly going to benefit us.
Yeah. And they're all excited and it's new for them. They're going to have this opportunity. Are you going to have a lot of freshmen starting this year?
We only had one tournament.
Okay.
So we didn't really get to see or like get a 100% feel for like who's all going to be playing. But basically, like I think we're going to have majority younger girls since there are only two seniors.
Okay. With you playing softball for so many years. How do you stay motivated and maintain your passion for the sport through the seasons that you play? Because I know girls nowadays, you guys play a lot of softball and it's like all year round. So how do you stay motivated?
So, like you said, it is all year round. Like, we go straight from travel ball in the fall into a little bit here and there in the winter, and then into the high school season, then straight into summer. So sometimes it can get like a little bit tiring, but I just always sit down and think about like how hard I worked to get to where I am now and like what I've accomplished. And that always just like reassures me, like, just calm down. It's going to be okay. Like, you've done it this long. Like, it's all okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I always tell my daughter this, but it's like a roller coaster ride when you guys play. You're going to have some really good games and you're going to have some really bad games, and you just kind of got to navigate your way through all that and
Yes.
just trust yourself and know that you're going to turn things around, even if you're having a bad couple games or whatever, maybe just a couple bad at bats. I don't know.
Yeah.
What talking about the off season? What kind of off season training and preparation do you have?
So leading up to high school season, my travel team, we do practice twice a week. And then in addition to that, I have like a private hitting and fielding lesson that I also do once a week.
Okay.
So we have those practices. And then once high school season starts, obviously the travel ball practices will end. And then I'll have the high school season. But then I still do my individual lessons all throughout that.
Okay. Okay. Do you do any kind of training, like strength training or speed training or anything like that?
So in the summers, I'll go to Grossetti's.
Okay.
And I'll do their like lifting in the mornings. But it's usually just in the summertime because it does get a little bit hectic, like with school and stuff. It's hard to find the time.
Where's that at? Is that out in your area up in Elwood or?
It's in Newcastle.
Newcastle. Okay. I wasn't sure of that guy. Do you play any other sports, or are you strictly softball?
I'm strictly softball. Whenever I was younger, I dabbled in different sports and stuff, but softball is just what stuck. Like, I just knew, like, I want to do this. Like, this is my favorite. So I just kind of focused in on that.
Okay. All right. So, cool. Then let's move to probably the more exciting thing for you is the college stuff. So, I saw just recently that you signed. Did you sign yet? Did you sign?
No, I'm signing on December 12th.
Okay. So, I saw that you committed to Fairmont State.
Yeah.
So tell me like what the emotions were and what thoughts you had whenever that all came to play.
I was super excited because I love the environment. All the girls that I've met who played there so far were super nice. I love Coach Brooke. So it was just honestly just excitement. And I'm just like so grateful that I get to be in like a great environment with people who are just so like nice.
One of my Macy, one of her teammates from Team PA is there. It's Lissa McCormick.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of Macy's teammates. They're actually good friends, too, outside of softball.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I know several people from like D-Train and all those guys that played on the teams that played against Macy through those years.
Yeah.
They have a lot of good talent over there. And then I also know there's a girl, her name's I think she's a senior this year. Is it Riggs? I think they call her.
Yeah, Emily Riggs.
Yes. She played on Team Pennsylvania whenever Macy was just joining Team PA. And that's Rochelle had her on her team. She actually committed to play with Pitt at one time, but she changed.
Really?
Yeah, she changed and went to Fairmont State.
I didn't know that.
I'm not sure the reasons why or anything, but I just know she decommitted from Pitt and went to Fairmont. So you guys you guys should have a really good team. Where do you think you're going to play when you go there?
Whenever I had talked things over, we had mainly focused on outfield because they have a lot of girls who are graduating, so they're going to be needing girls in the outfield.
Yeah.
And that is like, I'm a utility player, but I do really enjoy playing in the outfield, so that's probably where I'll be. Okay.
Yeah, the utility. I learned that when did they mark you down as a utility player? Utility, yes. Yeah. So one of the things that I was told, and this wasn't from a college coach or anything, it was from someone else I know that's heavily involved in college ball. They said that if a college team puts you down as a utility player, that just means that they want your bat in a lineup and they really don't care where you play defensively.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny when I heard that.
Yeah.
So, can you talk a little bit about your recruiting process and what factors led you to Fairmont State?
Yes. So I had been visiting plenty of colleges and going to camps, and I would go back like home and I talk to my parents about it, and they'd be like, how do you feel? What's your favorite school? And I would just keep telling them I like them all the same. Nothing like is jumping out. And then all of a sudden I went to a Fairmont camp that Coach Brooke had emailed me and invited me to. And after I left that camp, I told my mom, I was like, I'm very interested. And then Coach Brooke reached out and invited me on a visit. So I visited the campus. I sat down and I met with her. And on the way home, I told my mom, I was like, this is the school. Like, I know, like, I just had a feeling. And my mom was like, okay, then you really need to focus in, keep in contact with Coach Brooke, like she had said. And so we kept in contact and things worked out. And she was able to give me a scholarship. And it just all kind of fell in place.
That's weird how that happens, because Macy had something similar too. It's like, you know, she wanted to go to one school and she was really pushing hard for it. And then Youngstown State came out of nowhere. And we went there to visit, and my wife didn't even think she was going to go there. So she actually didn't even come with us. It was just me and my daughter. And when we went there, it was like, it was shocking. It was just like, you just knew. And I know that through the recruiting process, the people who helped Macy get through it, they always had said, just wait, you'll know when you find it. You'll know when you find the place you want to go. And it's crazy how that all happens. And it is. You hear it so often where, you know, you ask someone, they're like, yeah, I liked it there. That was cool, whatever. And then you have someone that says, I absolutely loved it there. And you just knew at that point that that's where you were going. So that's pretty cool. So just talking a little bit more about the recruiting process and everything, who was your support system that really helped you through that whole process? Because I know that process can be kind of stressful in a sense, where you're kind of like looking and you're hoping someone's interested in you and you don't really know at times, and it's kind of stressful. So how did you get through that? And what's your support system as far as your family and your coaches and stuff?
So my main support system obviously is my family. They are the ones who have taken me to all the camps, who have helped me with like the emailing process. They are my biggest supporters. And mainly it is like my mom, my stepdad, and then my little brother too. He's always getting drugged along everywhere, and he was always just there right along with us. So yeah, they're a major, major support system. And then travel ball coaches, my high school coaches. I remember going to Coach GL's room every year for like our little like yearly check-ins, and she'd always be like, keep pushing. Like, if you want to play in college, like just keep chugging. And so like she was always a major support whenever it came to that. And like I said, just the different travel ball coaches that I've had all throughout the years, just really helping make sure we're staying in contact, getting coaches at our games. So just, all around, everybody has really been helpful.
Yeah. And what's funny is you mentioned your little brother going to all the games and stuff. I have an older daughter who isn't athletic, or she's not interested in sports or anything. And but she always had to come to our softball games until she got a little bit older. But it was funny. We actually bought her a shirt that said, "I'm only here for the concessions." So that's funny. Pretty funny. But yeah, I think everyone has those siblings that have to tag along, and some of them are okay with it, and others aren't. But let's talking a little bit about the people that you inspire. So I know that you kids in Beaver County, the older girls, especially the girls that are playing or playing into the next level. A lot of the younger kids look up to you guys, and what advice would you give them for anyone who is younger and looking or wanting to play college softball? What would you give them as far as giving them some guidance and help?
So my biggest piece of advice is to never get discouraged and to never give up or feel defeated. There's going to be schools that you reach out to and they aren't going to contact you back. There's going to be camps that you go to and you may not get the reaction you want, but there is a place in a school for everybody. So just keep looking, just keep reaching out. And my major piece of advice would be camps. Go to camps, be friendly. Don't be afraid to volunteer, to go first. Don't be afraid to go up to the coach after and talk to them, because coaches also, they want a good player, of course, but they also want someone who's personable. So just don't be afraid to be yourself and to take opportunities.
Yeah, that's really good advice. Because I mean, the coaches want talent and all, but if they don't feel that you fit on their team from a personality standpoint, they may look past you.
Yeah.
But that's really good advice. So then the last piece of this that I want to talk about is something that's kind of new in the area, and even in the college level softball, is the NIL, the name, image, and likeness. What is your understanding of that? And do you know anything that's going on as far as what they do for Fairmont State?
So I don't know a ton of information regarding like how you can do it with Fairmont or anything.
Okay.
But just from my understanding of it and from what I've heard, it's basically just like how college athletes can take opportunities to do promotions or just additional things to get their name out there. That's what I know from my understanding.
Okay. With Macy, where she's at, they have a thing called Open Doors through Youngstown, and it's not just specific for Youngstown. It's all athletes can use it, whether you're football, baseball, it doesn't matter. The school doesn't matter. Okay. But it's just a way for you get, like you said, you sell your name, you benefit from it. You there might be some opportunities for sponsorships and things like that. And it's just new right now. I know that in just I think it was 2 winters ago. Was it last winter? It might have been last winter, where they just passed it in PIAA, where high school students can take advantage of it.
That's awesome.
It's new in this area. So, of course, anything new, it takes a while to catch on and move wherever. The one, and I don't know if you know this or not, but our main sponsor on our network is M7 Sports, and they're out of Beaver. You may want to reach out to them and just kind of they'll just talk to you a little bit and kind of give you some ideas and things. And if it's something where you want to pursue through them or have them help you, then they have different packages that you can get into. But I can send you some links to them if you'd like to look into it. And they're real
for sure.
Cool.
That'd be awesome.
They're real cool. Macy's a member of them or a client of theirs, I guess. But they have like photo shoots, and they do they do a lot of different things. They'll give highlight videos and stuff, and they also have connections for different businesses. So I know Peyton List is there. She actually got a deal through like coconut water or something through M7.
I have seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, they do have something. And like I said, it's newer, so there's not a lot of opportunities out there. But I think the quicker you girls plug into them, I think the opportunities, once they start coming through, it's going to kind of pick up. And I'd like to see you girls kind of take advantage of some of that. So yours is going to be on maybe the December 17th, I think it is.
Perfect. Thank you.
When yours will be released. So I hope you like it. And again, thanks for doing this. And
thank you for talking to me.
I'm going to try to do some Riverside games this year as far as the live streaming goes. So like I said, I got to figure out with the schedule. I know the schedule is released for the section games, but not your exhibition games. And weather always changes stuff in the spring too. So I'm looking forward to doing some of your games this year. And Fairmont State, good luck with that. And
thank you so much.
I wish you the best. And thanks again, me. I really appreciate you doing this.
Yes, thank you. It was nice talking to you.
Okay, we'll see you. Bye.
See ya.